4 wrestlers who became very successful movie stars. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. For WWE family latest news update, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. Hollywood and professional wrestling will forever be intertwined for much of the same reasons Broadway and Hollywood are interlaced. Stage actors make the transition to movies all the time, and vice versa, so why can't the same be said for professional wrestlers? Pro wrestling, after all, sits in the gray area between sport and entertainment, and it is no coincidence that many of the industry's biggest stars are more entertainment than sport. Pro wrestling's relationship with Hollywood dates back several decades. While Dwayne Johnson may be considered one of the most bankable movie stars in recent years, studios showed a willingness to cast wrestlers in meaningful movie roles long before his rise. No matter the genre of film, directors and producers can always count on pro wrestlers, real-life superheroes who can entertain at the drop of a hat to make the most of their minutes. Modern wrestling stars, such as John Cena and Batista, have followed Johnson's blueprint for success in Hollywood. Here are 12 pro wrestlers who parlayed their in-ring success into successful movie careers. Andre the Giant. Andre the Giant's movie career may have been short-lived, but it's among the most memorable and impactful. Andre played the role of Fezzik in the 1987 fantasy classic, The Princess Bride. Fezzik is a giant who, along with his friend Inigo Montoya, teams up with main character Wesley to rescue Princess Buttercup. Casting director Jane Jenkins told The Wrap that William Goldman, who authored the original story, initially had Andre pegged for the role. However, Andre would turn Goldman down, instead recommending his friend Arnold Schwarzenegger. English was, after all, Andre's second language. This, coupled with his deep voice, cast doubt in the giant's mind over his ability to handle any role with substantial dialogue. However, the movie soon entered development hell, with filming enduring a near-decade-long delay. By this point, Schwarzenegger's stock had risen astronomically, and the studio could no longer afford his services. This time, Goldman and Rob Reiner, the film's new director, managed to convince Andre to take the part. Almost 40 years later, it is tough to imagine anyone other than Andre in the role, with lines such as "Anybody want a peanut?" still resonating with fans of the film. Unfortunately, Andre would pass away 6 years after the film's release, with his health having been in constant decline due to a lifelong bout with acromegaly. Though he never quite realized his potential in movies, it is fair to wonder how far Andre's charisma and look could have taken him off the back of his performance in The Princess Bride. John Cena. John Cena, one of the 3 most successful professional wrestlers currently in Hollywood, shunned a second career in acting for the longest time. Cena, an ironclad force in WWA as the top babyface and company cash cow, often criticized The Rock for leaving the wrestling business hanging during their feud. While Cena may have had a point about the optics of The Rock's departure from wrestling, the former doctor of thugonomics always had an affinity for the big screen. Months after graduating from college, Cena moved to Southern California to become an actor, and his involvement in wrestling came as a result of a happy accident. However, Cena would dabble as an actor during his peak wrestling years, starring in The Marine and 12 Rounds. Nowadays, he is creating his own movie legacy while following in the footsteps of the man he once criticized. With his in-ring career winding to a close, Cena began taking comedic roles with studios outside of WWA. His minor role in Amy Schumer's Trainwreck is a memorable one and led to future co-starring roles in movies such as Blockers, Vacation Friends, and Daddy's Home 2. Cena put his comedic range on full display when he starred in Playing with Fire, a kids' movie that deviates slightly from the crude adult humor he showcased in previous works. In recent years, however, Cena's acting career seems to have hit a new gear. He landed a role in 2021's F9, the ninth installment in the Fast and Furious franchise, as main character Dominik Toretto's, played by Vin Diesel, brother, and played Chris Peacemaker Smith in director Gunn's The Suicide Squad in 2021. Cena has since reunited with Gunn to portray the Peacemaker character in a spin-off show of the same name, Hulk Hogan. The movie role Hulk Hogan is arguably best known for Thunderlips in Rocky III originally got him fired from the WWF. Hogan recounted the story on an episode of the Steve Austin show, H/TS Scoops. Vince McMahon's Sir, who owned the company at the time, strictly forbade his talents from appearing in movies. This mindset would quickly change when McMahon sold the company to his son, Vince McMahon Jr., in late 1982, but not before the elder McMahon could relieve Hogan of his duties. Rocky I proved to be a seismic hit for fans of the franchise. For the younger McMahon, who sought to make wrestling as big as possible, Hogan's momentum from appearing in the movie made him an easy choice to push up the card. From there, McMahon decided to dabble in the movie business himself, casting top star Hogan in the 1989 film, No Holds Barred, produced in-house under the moniker Shane Distribution Company. Like Rocky I No Holds Barred is also remembered by fans of the ADS, but not for the strength of the film. In fact, the WWF's debut foray into movies proved to be a colossal flop, though this would not deter McMahon, whose vision for WWE Studios would eventually manifest itself. As for Hogan, his status as an ADS cultural symbol rings true in both films, though he would go on to star in a slew of other movies throughout the 90s, such as Suburban Commando, Mr. Nanny, and the direct-to-video pilot movie Thunder in Paradise, which spawned a 22-episode television series from the creators of Baywatch. He also had a cameo as himself in Gremlins 2, The New Batch, Dwayne "The Rock's" Johnson. It is safe to say Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson changed the game for professional wrestlers looking to foster a career in acting, as he is far and away the most successful wrestler in Hollywood. On the 2020 Forbes list of highest-paid actors, Johnson was #1 actor, reporting that he makes more than $20 million per movie before accounting for his various business ventures and side projects. When it comes to his acting career, The Rock did a ton of learning on the job as he took on the mantle of being a central character from the very beginning. His first role saw him play the eponymous character in 2001's The Mummy Returns, and 2002's The Scorpion King saw him thrive playing a similar character in his first leading role. By 2003, Johnson's time as a full-time wrestler had come to an end, and his movie career found a new gear as a result. He starred in the 2004 remake of Walking Tall, showcased his versatility in comedies such as The Game Plan, and hit a new level of popularity for his role in the Fast and Furious franchise as DSS Agent Luke Hobbs. The Great One put his producer hat on in 2019, collaborating with comedian Stephen Merchant on Fighting with My Family, which depicts the career of former WWE superstar Paige on her road to WWE. The movie received positive reviews and served as a tasteful tribute to Johnson's former profession